you can put a lot of effort in, or some days you just want to relax. And that's not a bad thing. I don't think relaxation is bad. I think that in general, we fail to realize how much time we waste in inaction. And when I say inaction, I don't mean like proper relaxation. I mean inaction. I mean those times where we're not actually doing anything that does anything for us. It's one thing to relax, but it's one thing to not work at all. I think that relaxation, in a sense, is a relation between working. It's a relation between actually moving forward. I feel like in life, to relax, you have to do things that are sort of not necessarily tiresome, not necessarily bothersome, but take up a sense of time, take up a period. Otherwise, your relaxation is just life. I feel like a lot of us are just relaxing our whole lives. I think that shouldn't be. It kind of reminds me of like this universal law. It's similar to the law of attraction. If you know what that is, basically like you attract what you are, in a sense, or you attract. Basically, be mindful of your thoughts and what type of energy you're giving to your mind. And then the law of accumulation is more so the result of all your actions, the result of all your, positings into the world. How much positivity are you putting in, or how much are you striving to be better? How much are you investing in yourself, and how much are you de-investing in yourself? How much are you not putting in time? It's an accumulation of those things that apparently gives you your result. Like those times where you're just not studying, or not studying for an exam, or not studying for a whole class, and then it accumulates into you not doing well. Or the opposite, when you're doing everything in your power to succeed in a way, and you do succeed. Now, of course, there are examples where this doesn't work, but in a general sense, I feel like it makes sense even if you're not like regarding it in a sort of mystical way. Sometimes you got to put that effort in for yourself. Take responsibility for yourself. Only you can help you. You have to treat yourself like somebody you're trying to help. I say that all the time, but I don't think I truly like get the point of it sometimes. Like truly help yourself, because like what is best for me at the end of the day. But I feel like deep down we know. But at the same time, we want to have fun. And I'm not talking about just going to parties or something, stuff like that, or spending time with people, or I mean like things in life that don't necessarily serve us. There's things that create dopamine, serotonin, things that we enjoy that don't necessarily serve us. And I feel like in those things we somewhat disregard ourself, but not in a sense that like we're not happy, but in a sense that some of the stuff may stunt our development. Some of the stuff may stunt who we are. And it's about bringing forth that passion to be yourself and care for yourself. At first, I just wanted to do this video to talk about the law of accumulation, but I feel like in general it's transcending into the idea of like self-love. I feel like it's talked about, but at the same time it's not really talked about. Self-love, in my eyes, has changed a lot in the past, couple months or so. Because before I thought it was just like, being able to say I love myself. But it's one thing to say it, and it's one thing to actually feel it. It's one thing to actually take care of yourself. I have this, my knee hurts. I'm going to rehab it myself because I care about myself and I want to be able to move freely as myself. I have a test. I'm not going to procrastinate. I want to do well, so I feel good about doing well. So I'm going to study for that exam. I want to pursue this. I want to pursue that. Actually positing your faith and energy into that something. Proving to yourself you want it in a way, and proving to yourself that you have enough care in your heart for yourself to pursue those things. And it doesn't even have to be a pursuing of something. It could be a instantiation of who you are. Being able to love yourself no matter the expression. being able to care about yourself regardless of the connotation. And in saying that, I mean, like, no matter the situation, no matter how you react, no matter how you choose to express yourself, you accept that for who you are. And you realize that, even if you don't necessarily like it, you can love it. Love your ability to change in a way. Love your opportunity to become different. Love your opportunity to be who you are at the same time. I feel like as humans, all we are is change. All we are is our ability to change. And I feel like the people at the top, the people who can do most for themselves, are the people who are accepting of change. Accepting and accountable of their own actions and change. Like, oh, I'm this way. I'm not gonna wait till I change. I'm not gonna wait till time or an experience makes me change in this sense. I want this change, so I'm going to start doing something in order to make that happen. I want to get into this, so I start actually getting into it. So a lot of people say, well, I want to make music. Start making it. It's like that. Like, start putting it out there, even if it's not good. Like, even if your expression hasn't really been fine-tuned, or that accountability hasn't been fine-tuned, it's still a thing of practice. I feel like that's something people don't get nowadays because of the short-term gratification aspect of everything. On social media and everything, everyone seems to get everything pretty fast. And I feel like a lot of us don't understand the true works that go into actually developing as a person in order to accumulate these things. The sum total, the law of accumulation. It's the sum total. It's realizing that everything you do, I'm not saying like everything happens for a reason, but I think everything matters. Whether you do this or don't do this, it matters. And I'm not saying be hard on yourself, because, we're all human. Sometimes you just want to relax. Sometimes you want to procrastinate. And I don't think that's a negative thing. But I think once it becomes a detriment to somewhat who you are and somewhat who you want to be, that's when you have to kind of tap into yourself and be like, all right, let me lock in for myself. It's about being one with your, not necessarily idea of yourself, but in a sense, feeling who you want to be and embodying that now instead of choosing to develop it later. We posit so much faith in this future mystic self that I think we ought to forget a lot of who we are and what development truly is. I feel like a lot of people do that gradual, change over time. And it's not so much a gradual as it is small instantiations of change over time. And I feel like it starts whenever it starts, but it can start now. It can start whenever you want. As soon as you start, accepting that your actions are your actions, accepting that your reactions are your actions, accepting that who you are is who you currently are, and realizing where you want to go with that, realizing how you're going to move from that, not necessarily being stuck in the mindset that who you are right now is exactly who you're going to be, but who you are right now is the first step into developing who you want to be. And in some ways, if you can get far enough, I feel like I haven't got to this point, but eventually I hope to achieve the idea of like, I said before in a video, like, there's no past self to overcome. And I think that in practice, it's a lot more difficult than in thought. But in general, I think that's a good thing to strive for. Like, separating yourself from the past and being able to appreciate, the memory and the thoughts of it. But also realizing that who you are right now is not necessarily 100% reflective of that. And who you are right now is dictated by how you feel and how you are right now. Like, how you want to be, in a sense. Pulling in who you want to be into your every action. I feel like that takes conscious effort. And with everything that takes conscious effort, you got to be in the present moment, man. It's about being there with yourself enough to loop back, to say to yourself, oh, that wouldn't be good for me. Oh, I feel this way now, but I know it's not going to serve me later. It's about putting yourself first, but like separating yourself from your thought. That's a good way to put it. I was trying to think of a word. Separating yourself from your thought enough to understand what thoughts are going to benefit you and what thoughts are going to lead you down a path that's not going to, and making sure you're putting yourself on top, treating yourself like someone you want to help, and taking responsibility for who you are.